Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. How are we all doing? So today's Good Friday. I am off work for the long Easter weekend and I thought I'd come on and do a Friday sews for you and chat to you about what I've been up to this last week. So let's get started. Okay, so for those of you that didn't know, last weekend I went to the Stitch Festival down in London with my gorgeous Northern Soul sisters. We had an amazing time. It's the first time we've been to the Stitch Festival and interrupted by the daughter again every time. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, this year is the first year that we've gone to the Stitch Festival and we had serious FOMO last year. So we have put out a vlog today under the Northern Soul Sisters brand on our Northern Soul Sisters channel. If you are interested, I will leave a link to it down in the comments below so you can go and see what we got up to last weekend. We didn't actually show what we bought on that vlog because we decided that we would do that individually on our own channel. So I'm going to show you that today, but I will start with what I'm wearing. So this is a project that I made a couple of months ago now, and I was seeing lots of these all over Instagram, and I don't always jump on trends because I don't really class myself as a trendy person. I don't even like using that word, to be honest, but anyway, I don't class myself as a bit of a trend follower as such, but I really liked the inspirational makes that I saw of this style. So this is basically a hack of the Anna Allen. Yes, I still can't get that right. Anna Allen Anthea blouse. And it was inspired by the Ganni dupe top that lots of people have been making. I will put the inspiration picture here of a very expensive ready-to-wear designer top. And yeah, I wanted to have a go at making my own. And I think what put me off, love the style, but what put me off was I don't want my bra to be showing. That's the thing, because it's a tie front top with a little peplum detail, big poofy sleeves, and I'm thinking, how do we stop the bra situation from being exposed to the world? Anyway, I decided to just throw on a simple skin coloured vest underneath. Bob's your uncle. It works. So I'll stand up and show you this top. So here it is. Yeah, it is a hack of the Anthea blouse because I felt that because I already own that pattern and I've made it before, so I know how it comes together, that this was going to work really well for me. But essentially, instead of the button up front of that pattern, I have created loops, basically ties out of the spare fabric, and I have done 3 ties across the front. It's got this little peplum detail around the bottom, which all I did for that was chop off a portion of the original bodice front and back, and then widened those pieces by 1.5 times their original width to create a peplum at the front and the back. And yeah, that's about it. The only other thing I did was create some bias binding in the fabric as well to bind the neckline, but the sleeves are exactly the same as the original pattern. The bodice now comes to probably the bottom of my ribs, I would say, and then the peplum comes to high hip, which is where I wanted it to hit. And yeah, I really like it. Now, this fabric is originally from Pound Fabrics. It's a cotton poplin. I love the colours in this. It's so gorgeous. And yeah, it's a nice little top. And it was really nice to experiment with pattern hacking as well and make something new and a little bit different. And yeah, I think wearing the skin colour top underneath makes it really wearable for me. And I keep reaching for this a lot because I think, as I was saying last week, I am just into separates more than anything at the moment, because I find that I can just layer up more with separates. I don't have to worry about tights with dresses, etc. And yeah, it's very much still layering up season in the UK, let me just say that right now. So I made this a couple of months ago, as I say, but I realised that I'd not vlogged it at all, so I can't say that I've made it this week, but that's what I'm wearing today with my Sapphire Frills earrings as well. So yeah, really happy with that outfit today. So let me show you, because I'm sure you're just itching to see what I bought at the Stitch Festival. Now, I did go with a budget, and I only spent 2/3 of that budget, which is incredible for me. I think some of it was because I had been to the Sewing for Pleasure show in Birmingham the week before, so I'd spent a fair bit there anyway, and I'd already bought a few fabrics from there. So I went with a mission to the Stitch Festival that I only wanted to get a piece of fabric from Sister Mintaka, which they didn't have, but we'll come to that. And then I wanted to look at the new Fabric Godmother collection, because I knew Fabric Godmother were going to be there, and I wanted to see some of their fabrics in the flesh. And I ended up buying a piece of fabric from Sister Mintaka, but not the original one that I wanted, and 2 of the new Fabric Godmother collection fabrics. And that's all the fabric I bought. I know. So let me show you the fabrics. I did get a few other little bits and pieces as well, which I'll show you in a second, but we'll start with the fabrics. So Sister Mintaka had this amazing green and sort of off-white ecru coloured viscose satin on her website a few weeks ago, and I fell in love with it. And I asked Sandeep if she was going to have it at the show, and she said she was bringing some to the show, but because we were going on the Saturday and the show had been running since Thursday, by the time I got to her stand, it was nowhere to be seen because it had sold out. So I'm sort of kicking myself that I didn't buy it off the website now, but she has said that she'll probably reprint it. So I'm going to watch out for that. But anyway, while we were there, she was actually cutting this fabric. And when I saw this being cut, I thought, oh, that's so beautiful. So I had to buy some, and this is it here. It is a viscose crepe. It's quite a heavyweight fabric, actually. It's really good weight to it, and it's got tigers on it. Where are they? There they are. Look, you can see the tigers there. It's absolutely gorgeous. The colours in this are stunning. All these sort of purples and pinks and reds. It's beautiful. So I got 3.5 meters of this with a pattern in mind, because Sandeep was wearing the Hazel dress by Victoria Tucker, the label, and I've got that pattern and haven't made it, and it looked beautiful on her. So we were chatting about the fabric requirements for that pattern, and that's why I went with 3.5 meters for this. But I won't be making it out of this fabric, and I will explain why in a little while. And from the Fabric Godmother stand, I decided on these 2 fabrics. And the first one is this one, which is absolutely beautiful. They're both Viscose Chalet, but this one has upside down for a start. This one has gold little flecks in it, gold Lurex flecks. It's beautiful. This is called Flavia, I think, and it's so boho. I just think it's gorgeous with these beautiful flowers on and green leaves. It's just beautiful. So I got 3.5 meters of that one. And then the other one that I got from Fabric Godmother, above her stall, she had some of the fabrics really sort of laid out fully in their entirety, so you could see the full print from a distance, which was lovely. So I saw this one up there and I loved it. So this is the one that I bought. I can't remember the name of it, but again, it is a Viscose Chalet. Now, these viscoses are actually fairly lightweight, and I would say they're not completely opaque. So I again have 3.5 meters of this, and I plan to make a dress of some sort, but I will probably line it, I think, because it is fairly lightweight. It's beautiful, very soft, and I love these colours. These are the cool tones that really suit my skin tone. So yeah, love that. So those were the ones that I got from Fabric Godmother. And then we also went to Ethel and Joan. Now, we went there at the beginning of the day, but to be honest, I was a little bit overwhelmed because she had so many different buttons and pin cushions and needle minders and all sorts of things. Jewellery, it was just beautiful, but I couldn't decide. So we went back later on and I picked up these buttons, these beautiful lilac flower buttons. They're gorgeous, and I don't have any of this colour in my stash, and I've got quite a few lilac fabrics now, so I thought they would work really well for a blouse in one of my lilac fabrics, or I could even use these on a make for Layla as well. So that's all I got from Ethel and Joan. And we also visited the lovely Victoria at Little Rosy Cheeks because she had some new sewing labels that she was launching at the show, and I wanted to get them. I'd already seen one of the designs on Instagram, but I didn't know the other one. So I bought 3 sets of labels from Victoria. The first one is this one, which says Handmade. She's made these before, but this is a new colourway, and I love these colours. So that was the first one. The second one is one of the new labels that she launched, which are Artisan and Couture. These are the ones that I had seen over on Instagram. And then the third one is the other new set, which says Wing It. No, is it Wing It? Swing It. It's not Wing It, it's Swing It. Although I do wing it quite a lot. Swing It, shake it, move it, made it. Bit of a nod to the Spice Girls there. So love those. And she also gave me a couple of her older labels too as an extra little gift, which was really lovely. We also visited the lovely Emma at Studio 77, and I signed up for the Bag Makers subscription box. So this is a monthly subscription box that Emma runs, and it's full of notions for you to make a bag of your choice. Now it's not a bag kit, it doesn't have fabric, and at least I don't think it has fabric, and it doesn't have patterns in, so it's not designed to be a kit. It is designed to be lots of different notions, etc. So I thought it'd be really nice to try this out, and she was doing a discount off the first box at the show, and you also get a little goodie bag as well. So in my goodie bag I got a little bag clasp in this gold flower, which is really lovely. Got a little label and also a pack of labels which say Hello Summer on there, if it ever arrives, and then a little leaflet explaining all about the Bag Makers box from Studio 77. So that's great, and I'm really looking forward to receiving my first box from them. Oh, one other thing I got from Little Rosy Cheeks as well was one of these, a fabric glue pen. Don't know if anybody's used one of these before, but Victoria really sold it to me, to be honest. The reason I got this was because when I'm applying labels to my makes, sometimes it's really difficult to get them perfect and centralized, and so they're not wonky, etc. And I do use washi tapes, but sometimes with some of the labels I've got, it's not always easy to do that. So I thought this would be really helpful. Victoria was telling me how much of a game changer these are, because I think she said she uses them on zips as well to, you know, baste zips into place, or stick zips into place before she sews them. So I thought that would be a really good thing to try. So let me know if you've tried one of those and what you think. I'm excited to have a go with it and see how we get on. So one other thing I bought, the last thing I bought, was Trend Patterns. About a week before the show did show on Instagram their new pattern, and they were going to be at the show, and I was, oh my word, fell in love with it straight away. So I made a beeline for them later on in the afternoon when it suddenly came back to me, and picked up their new gathered sleeve top pattern. Now I know it looks like, because initially I thought, is this for a jersey fabric, but it's not. It's actually a woven fabric. So it's a woven fabric pattern, and it's got like a split sleeve hem. I think it's slightly lower at the back, and then these gorgeous gathered lower arm sleeves, which are so unique, and I absolutely fell in love with it. They did have a version of it made up on the mannequin on their stand, and one of the ladies was wearing it as well. So if we look at the line drawings on the back, you can see there's 2 different versions. You've got like a one with a sort of frill hem on the sleeves, and then the other one is the gathered sleeve, and it's got this really interesting yoke detail at the back as well. It is truly beautiful when you see it in real life. I don't think the image and the line drawings do it justice, if I'm perfectly honest, but I absolutely love it. So I am so pleased to pick that up and have a go at making that at some point. So that is everything that I got from the show, and we had a really good day. It was exhausting though, really busy, packed weekend, met lots of lovely people, And yeah, it was just such a good time. Sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed when there are lots of people, and I think I was feeling that a bit on Saturday night. So, you know, to any of you out there that follow me and are watching, if you met me, if I didn't seem, I don't know, as jolly as what I do on video, I'm really sorry. I was tired from, you know, we'd been out Friday night and we got in very late. It was a very, very heavy night, let me tell you. And I was already tired on the Saturday. And yeah, I find trying to socialise with people, lots of people, is really difficult. It doesn't come naturally to me. And yeah, but it was so lovely to see everybody. And there were so many vloggers that were there on the Saturday. Amelia from So Amelia managed to get a photo of so many of us all together. We just all sort of, it was like divine intervention that we all ended up just congregating on the mezzanine floor in this sort of space all at the same time. It was just amazing. So yeah, there were so many people, it would just be impossible to name everybody, but I'm sure you've seen quite a few other vloggers that have already put out their lovely vlogs from the Stitch Festival, and yeah, it was a great weekend. So very sadly it's over now, but had a great time. Anyway, let's get back to what I've been up to this week. So it was actually my gorgeous little granddaughter Layla's first birthday yesterday, and yeah, hasn't that come around quick? So it's been a busy week preparing for that, and I'm still preparing for it because we've not actually been down to see her yet, because obviously it was a birthday yesterday, which is during the week, and she lives in Leicester, and we're going tomorrow for her little birthday party, which is going to be lovely. So I've been getting things ready for that. I'm actually baking the cake. I know. Bronte sort of convinced me to do it. So the cake is baked, it's just cooling at the moment, and then I'm going to be decorating it later today. Fingers crossed that goes okay, because I am super stressed about it. I'm not a cake baker. Well, I can bake, but I'm not a decorator, shall we say. Anyway, we shall see how that goes. But I have made a couple of things for Layla. One of the things I wanted to get finished for her birthday, which I'm going to take down tomorrow. And this is something that I started probably just after Christmas, which is really bad because it's actually been sat on my shelf waiting to be finished for weeks. And you know, it's one of those things where you think, I've got loads of time. Then I was literally last night finishing it. So it's a knitting project, not a sewing project. So just skip forward if you're not interested, but I thought I would show it anyway. So it's a little jumper that I've knit for her. Now, my knitting is not as great as my sewing. You know, I am in awe of people that knit really well. And this has got quite a few errors in it, let me say, but I think it's wearable. So it's patterned by Knitting for Olive, which I have my lovely friend Andy down in Cornwall to thank for pushing me in their direction, because I've not heard of them before, but they have some beautiful patterns and beautiful yarns as well. But I bought this pattern, which is the bird sweater. So I'll put a little picture of it here. This is my version for Layla. So I've done it in the age 1 size, and it's an intarsia pattern. It's the first time I've done intarsia, and I had to rip this back 3 or 4 times before I actually got the knack of it. But it's this little blue tick on there, and I just have to embroider the eye, the beak, and the little legs and feet now. There is an error in it. There's a couple, well, yeah, because the knitting is a bit loose around here. I don't know what happened there. And I've got a little bit of a error here because, I don't know if you can see that, it's where I've tried to fix it. I don't know what was happening, but when this is knit from top down in the round, and when I got all this way through, considering I had ripped this back 3 or 4 times, I'd sort of got right down here and then noticed there was like a part where the 2 stitches were not together, not sort of fixed together. It was really bizarre. This has happened before to me when I've been knitting things, where it's not that I've dropped a stitch, because you can see that there's no stitch been dropped, but there's like a little gap where the 2 stitches have not been hooked together. It's just really strange. I don't know what I'd done. Anyway, I just could not face ripping it all back, so I did a bit of a not very invisible repair, and it's okay, isn't it? So everything else was fine. That's it from the back. It's just plain at the back. The yarn I used is a Stylecraft yarn, Bambino. It's an acrylic yarn because it needs to be washable. I love all these beautiful hand dyed yarns, but they're not washable. Everything has to be hand washed. And I just think when you've got a baby, the last thing you need to be doing is hand washing their clothes, isn't it? Let's face it. So I'm really pleased that I managed to get it done anyway last night. I just now, as I say, have to do that little bit of embroidery on, which I'll get done tonight. And then that's done and finished, and I can take that tomorrow. The other thing I've made is, because it's Easter on Sunday, and ordinarily we give chocolate eggs, don't we? Now, Layla's only one, and I envisaged she would get lots of chocolate eggs. Last year, I made her Luna Lapan for Easter, and so this year I've made another Studio Seren doll. I've made her an Easter bunny. Well, it's not an Easter bunny as such, it is a bunny pattern. I did this, started this the night before yesterday, so that was Wednesday, and then finished it yesterday morning by just doing the embroidery on the face. So here we go. Here she is. Here is the little Easter bunny. So I will link to the pattern down below, and I just thought this would be nice with just a little packet of Malteser bunny white chocolates for her. But she'll get to keep this forever. So these are 15-inch dolls. I love Emma's patterns. Emma is the designer by Studio Seren, and Seren is her daughter. That's why it's named that. And yeah, this is the bunny pattern. So I made the actual doll out of Essex yarn dyed linen by Robert Kaufman, which is one of the fabrics that she recommends. And let me just tell you now, you know, friction pens, and lots of people will say, always test it on a scrap of fabric first, because sometimes they do leave a mark, even though they are supposed to iron off. Well, they leave a mark on this fabric because you might just be able to see, I don't know if you can just see there, look. When I was tracing on the eyes, I put the eye in the wrong place with the friction pen. So I tried to iron it off, but it has left a little mark. Not that I can do when I've made the doll now, and you know, it's for Layla, she'll like it anyway, won't she? So the eyes are embroidered on, as is the nose. It's got a little bit blusher on. The dress is just made with some cotton from my stash, and I added some little trim around the hem at the bottom. I thought that was cute. And then she gives you the instructions to make the little bow as well, which is just attached with a little hair tie as well. The ears, I used toweling for the ears because I just thought that worked, made them look a bit fluffy. So, but she's very cute, isn't she? So I'm hoping Layla will love her. So that is what I've been sewing this week. Now, I have started a new project. Do you remember right at the beginning of this vlog, I was talking about Sister Mintaka and the fabric that I ended up buying to make the Hazel dress? Well, I've started on the Hazel dress because I had this decision yesterday that I thought I would make it to wear tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to get this done because I've got a cake to decorate. But anyway, I thought I would toile it first, because looking at the sizing, I can be between a size 10 and a 12 in my measurements, but it is very oversized. And I had the pattern, because it only comes in a PDF format, so I had it AO printed, but it comes in 2 size ranges. You get both size ranges with your PDF, but obviously the files are separate. So I just had the 6 to 12, I think it is, size range printed at the printers, and I've just cut out the size 12 because I couldn't face tracing it off, if I'm honest, because a lot of the pattern pieces for this are actually just rectangles, and I thought I don't want to trace off a rectangle because that's just ridiculous. So I have cut it out at the size 12, and that's the size I'm going to make. But when I cut out the pattern pieces, I will insert an image here that I put on Instagram. They are just enormous. I am not sure why she hasn't put you to cut the skirt pieces, sort of cut 2 on the, or 4 on the fold. No, yeah, 2 on the fold, sorry. But she has you cut them out singly and to cut 2. And they are so long or so wide that you just cannot get this on your fabric when it is in its normal orientation. So I have had to cut these pattern pieces all out on the cross grain, which meant I had to find a piece of fabric that A, was long enough, because it says you can get this out of 3.2 meters of fabric that is 60-inch wide. I can't, because I have to just, you know, turn these pattern pieces 45 degrees. So I've used practically a 5 metre piece of fabric here. And not only that, but because I'm turning the pieces 45 degrees and cutting on the cross grain, it meant I had to find a fabric with a print that is going to work that way. And my Sister Mintaka fabric is not, because it's directional with the tigers on. So I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, that's that. So I had to literally lay out my fabric yesterday on the floor of my sewing room all the way through into the kitchen. It's a good job I've got the space to do it. It was really difficult. I don't know what's going on with that, if I'm honest, because I haven't heard anybody else mention it, but maybe I've just not read the instructions right. But anyway, the fabric that I've ended up choosing, because I've only just got it all cut out, is this one. So it is a Viscose chalet that I've had in my stash. I don't remember where I got this from, and it's got this lovely floral design on, and it does work. I mean, the floral design is sort of non-directional, but it is a vertical pattern, if that makes sense. But I looked at it on the cross grain and it does work on the cross grain, so I think it's going to be okay. But if I get a chance to do that this today, I honestly don't know about that, if I'm honest, because I've got a lot on. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, I have bought some more fabrics this week. I know, but first, the fabrics, I've got some beautiful new fabrics in, and I wanted some black gingham to make a long gingham dress, so I will show you what I bought. So my little parcel is here, and obviously the lovely Tamlin wraps the parcels up so beautifully. So she's cut my order for me. I got some of the Sarah Hart's labels that say love on them. You can't really see them very well, can you? But I think they're really nice. I do love Sarah Hart's labels. She's got some amazing ones. And then I have bought a couple of fabrics for me, and then the others are for Layla. So the first one I got is this lovely viscose jersey. I love these neon pops of colour, and I'm planning to make an Elysian bodysuit by Friday Pattern Company out of this, because I've not made that pattern yet and I really want to make a bodysuit, and I thought this would look really nice with jeans. So I've got myself 1.5 meters of that, and then yes, black gingham. So this is the medium sized check of gingham, which is the exact size I wanted. So I think I got 3 meters of this, or 3.5 meters, to make myself a long gingham dress for the summer. And then the remaining 3 fabrics are all for Layla. So these are some of their new cotton jerseys that they've got in. Tamlin showed these on Instagram earlier in the week and I just loved them. So the first one is this one with the rainbows and little flowers on. I've got 1 meter of that to make Layla a little dress. And then this one as well, which has got these beautiful little strawberries on. Again, I've got 1 meter of that one. I think it's so pretty. And then this last one is a remnant of French terry, I believe. Yeah, it is. So I thought it would be great to make her a little hoodie and maybe some little matching joggers as well as she gets a bit bigger. So I think there is about 1.6, 1.7 meters here, so there's going to be plenty, and I just thought that was so much fun. It's lovely. So yeah, that's what came from First for Fabrics this week, which is awesome. So plans for the weekend, I do want to get started on the Hazel dress today. As I say, I don't think I'm going to get that finished for tomorrow, but if not, I will get that done over the weekend, because obviously I'm not at work, and we're going to be at this party tomorrow, which is exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing Layla, because I've not actually seen her in the flesh now for a month. It feels like a long time, let me tell you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her tomorrow. And yeah, then I'm just going to be doing a bit of sewing on Sunday. I think Martin's at work and I'll be on my own, so I will be sewing. So yeah, that's me done, I think. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys, but I hope you've enjoyed this week's Friday Sews. Oh yes, quickly, just wanted to say thank you. I think the lovely Catherine bought me a coffee this week. Thank you so much, Catherine. Really appreciate it, as always. And yeah, I will look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.